Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Quarter to Three live stream, not of pre-civilization Egypt. That is dead. It no longer exists. It has now been replaced, like a phoenix from the ashes, with Egypt pre-dynastic. Although I think on Steam it lists it the other way around. Like that pre-dynastic should go on top rather than on bottom. So pre-dynastic Egypt is what we're going to play today. It is a exciting, thrill-a-minute, white-knuckle ride of a strategy game. Let's see, of those things I said, let's see. Thrilling, white-knuckle ride of a strategy game. Of those three things, one of them is true. Speaking of things that are true and aren't true, a couple of things about this stream, if you are new to it or if you're watching a recording. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy what I do, please check out my Patreon campaign at patreon.com/TomChick. You can find me on Twitter at QT3. It's the letter Q, the letter T, the number 3. Stuff I write is at quarterto3.com. There you have to spell out all the words. Also, now here's what I was getting at. If you like this video, give it the little thumbs up. You will receive 2 free tickets to Rogue One, the new Star Wars movie that starts this December, next month. Now, if you subscribe to this channel as well, you and a guest will be flown to the premiere of Star Wars Rogue One at the Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California. Full flight and accommodations will be paid for if you subscribe to this channel. And finally, at 7 p.m., we're giving away 6 games, of which 2 at least don't suck. Of those 3 things I've promised, tickets to Rogue One, you and a guest, flight and accommodations to the premiere at Mann's Chinese Theater, and 6 free games being given away at 7 p.m. Of those 3 things, 1 is true. That I promise you. Chris Markinson wants to know if there will be a games podcast this week. No, there will not, because reasons. You know what? The holidays. There you go. I invoke the holidays. It is the holiday. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Hope everyone got a lot of shopping done today, because that's what you do today. Pony Carnival rightly notes that as of the recording of this video, which is November 25th, 6 p.m. Pacific, this game's still not available on Steam. It was yanked from Steam a few days ago, maybe a week ago, because it was called Pre-Civilization Egypt, and 2K sent some sort of a nastygram. Actually, I think they got Valve to take it down. I don't even think they contacted the developers. I've got my stupid site logo covering this, but down here you can see it's developed by Claris Victoria. Maybe you can't see. I read that. There are a bunch of Russians. You know what I say Russians? I don't know. Maybe they're Belarusians or Ukrainians. If you look at the credits, you can sort of tell. You see a definite theme in the names of the developers. But it was booted off Steam forcibly. They just kicked it off. Valve did, because of supposedly some sort of a trademark conflict. So it seems that oh, look at this. I love this. Look at all these PhDs. What's a D? What's a Doctor of Science? From this game has been partly developed by the Center for Egyptological Studies of the Russian Academy of Sciences. It's a mouthful, so as you know, that's CESROS to most people. So CESROS, with a half dozen or so PhDs, helped make this game. I was actually asked, does this game, will it be historically instructive? Is there some educational value here? To which I would say, not really. There will be little historical tidbits dropped as we play, which you'll see. All right, I'm going to kvetch about this right off the bat, and then there's going to be a lot less kvetching and more just playing. Here's something that wouldn't bother me if I didn't like it so much. How's that for irony? This is your prologue, which is kind of a misleading name. What's a Tom and Het? There, does that seem Egyptian? This is a prologue, which is a bit of a misleading name in that you're not about to play a prologue. This is your setup your game setup conditions. Alex Chapman rightly points out, wow, they got a lot of PhDs working for them and a notable paucity of IP lawyers. So this prologue here is the starting conditions for your game, which is kind of awesome. You are answering the question, who are our ancestors? How do we get there? What's the environment? What spirits live here? Each of these, and it's a little bit difficult. This was hard for me to figure out. I think I must have played at least a game or two before fully realizing what this is. Each of these is a question that you answer by clicking one of these three boxes. I kind of thought these were like unlockable. And I was like, oh, I better play so I can unlock these. The tooltips in this game are actually very good and for the most part document everything as well as could be expected and perfectly fine. So we have here tooltips that tell us what each of these is. And what each of them is a score modifier and also a gameplay condition, which I really like. For instance, if we answer, who are our ancestors? The default, no, where's a better example? Oh, okay, who are our ancestors? Creators, warriors, or sages, right? Kind of a cool question to be asked before you start a game. What do the choices mean? Well, the gameplay implications are clearly spelled out. Look, if creators are our ancestors, we get plus 30% growth. By the way, that's really cool. That's very, very helpful. So yeah, we want that, right? The other ones must be really good too. Let's look. If the warriors were our ancestors, then our army receives a little bit of growth. Not a lot, just a tad. Also, we get +1 to our final score. I'm going to come back to that in a second. If we take sages, we lose culture. What? What kind of crappy sages are those? Losing culture? Why would you do that? Well, you would do that because look at that, final score +2. And that's how all of these work. This is from the easiest to the most difficult at the bottom. This right here, this is a crazy difficult game because I've got +2, +2. I've got a total of, let me do some math, 7, +10 score by doing this. So right away, it's establishing, okay, your score is an incentive for making the game harder. And furthermore, when we get to playing, I'll show you guys this, you're going to make some decisions, and the more difficult decisions will be to improve your score. So that's awesome. So let's go back and check my scores on this game. All right, my high scores, let's see, where would those be? Would my high scores be under options? No. Let's see, would my scores be one of these? No, that's the developer's website, Twitter. Okay, are these? No, that's the language. Let's see, where would my high scores be? Maybe when I play, there's an option for high scores? No. Let's see, because I've played this game a few times and I've gotten some pretty good scores. I want to try to beat them, right? Would scores be under here? No. What is our shop? Oh, that opened a website. Oh, yeah, okay, you can buy their other game. So let's see, where would the scores be? My scores would be, you know what? They aren't saved. You know what other game does this? Civilization 6. If you're going to give me a score in a game, don't just show it to me and then poof, it's gone forever. A score, by its nature, because the reason these scores exist, it's from the early days of video games when you had to feed a video game a quarter. Those were micropayments. And you would play, or pinball machines, right? And you would play to get a score, and you'd try to get a high score. For as long as I can remember pinball machines having some sort of an LED readout, there would be a lit, you'd get a high score. You'd put your initials in. Scores are made to be persistent. Don't show me the stupid score and then take it away from me forever, because then when I am presented with this question right here, with these, it doesn't matter to me because I don't know. What do I care? +1 to a random number I'm going to be given and will then disappear into the ether? Oh my God, so freaking annoying. I guess I could write it on a piece of paper and put it on a post-it next to my computer. All right. That's enough for the kvetching. Sorry you had to hear that. I know that was not pretty, was it? Because I kind of like this game otherwise. All right, so I'm not going to play a baby game. Let's just right off the bat go through the middle. So this is going to give us a bonus to, oh shoot, should I? Yeah, let's just do that. It's going to give us a bonus to our army. This is going to, oh look, I like this. The historical choice. How do we get here? We wandered there. If we chose that we resettled, buildings and workers are cheaper. That's actually really good. If we want +2 to our score, which will then vanish forever, they're more expensive. All right, we're going to take the middle ground there. Look at that. For the historical choice, you get +1 to your score. What's the environment? Is it an elephant trail? Or is it a super fertile land of the antelopes? Or is it poor ground? Yeah, we're going to go with an elephant trail. Finally, what spirits live here? Are there supernatural elements to this game? No. You'll see in a minute. I like what they do with religion in this. But let's see, what spirits do we think live there? The historical choice, neutral spirits. Good spirits, of course. That would make it a lot easier. Enemy armies are weakened. Good events happen more often than bad. The randomness in this game is something that you might be concerned about. It's always played on the same map. For, 95% of the map is fixed. The location of some tribes can vary. But the randomness is basically in these random events. So here they're going to be good. Evil spirits, bad events happen more often. We're just going to go right up the middle. All right, let's start the game. You're going to get, this is the historical value, quote unquote, of this game. Not historical, educational value. Yeah, Rocket Monkey's saying I should go with historical choices across the board. You will note that far left one, who founded us, creators, warriors, or sages, there's no historical option there. That's just whatever you want it to be. I don't think there was. Here's the educational value. You read this text. I love the artwork, by the way. Great artwork in this. All right, so our first mission, and your mission, what does your mission matter, by the way? Why do I want to do this goal? Well, first of all, I'll get these. But missions figure into your score. You're going to be given missions, some of which are really difficult. They require saving up a bunch of resources that you could otherwise spend surviving or flourishing. Missions are really difficult, and the reason you want to meet them and how quickly you meet them matters is because you'll get a medal. If you meet them quickly, you get a gold medal. If you meet them slowly, you get a bronze medal. If you don't meet them at all, you fail. Your score at the end of the game is based on how you did on each of the missions, and the missions are the same every game. So your first one, this is pretty easy. We just want to get our tribe up to 3 workers. Here is the game, and one of the reasons that I'm perfectly happy with the documentation here, with the tooltips. The tooltips tell you everything you want to know. But also, this is a game that starts out very simply. It's the classic Civ thing, right? Where you have one settler. Where are you going to settle the settler? Oh, Rocket Monkey's saying sages were the historical choice. I am now playing an ahistorical game because I chose warriors. Didn't I choose warriors? Yeah. Thank you for noticing that, Rocket Monkey. Should we go back? No, we're not going to go back. All right, so here's how simple things are. Look, it's turn 1. Here's the year. We have 1 out of 5 workers. We can't give more than 5. That's crazy talk. Look, but we have 1 food. We're going to eat that. It's going to be gone next turn. What is this? Name your settlement ancient. Does that ever change? I don't think that does. All right. What is this? That's just reminding us of that right there. All right, so what can we do? All of these are grayed out. You can't do a lot. You can look at your options. You can change your... Let's check my high scores. Let's see. Where are my high scores? So I want to see how I'm doing now versus the games I've played in the past. Oh, right. They're not there. All these are grayed out. I can't do anything. This, however, I can click on. And this is something. Anytime you see something animated, that's significant. So I know for a fact, let's click here right now. This is the settlement that I'm settling. If I click on this, look, nothing happens. What the heck? What kind of superfluous button is that? It's not superfluous, it's telling you something, which we'll get to in a little bit. This right here needs our attention. Here's a worker. He's idle. Oh, I like that. It's red. You don't want an idle worker. What are we going to do about this idle worker? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I messed up the chat. What are we going to do about this idle worker? Let's put him to work. How do you do that? Well, I'm clicking everywhere. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What the game doesn't tell you, which you'll eventually figure out, this is a click and drag game. So we have this as a card. Think of this worker as a card. Oh, look. Well, the idle worker doesn't want to just sit in the clouds. Let's try to put him on the food. There you go. So this is now, you'll note he went from somebody who's yawning, who's super bored. Look how bored that poor Egyptian is. It's like, oh, what'll I do today? Oh, there's nothing to do. I'm bored. If you put him here, he becomes a hunter. That's very cool. The game is full of that kind of little touch. Like this animated card becomes that animated card based on what it does. And we have the information we need here. It gives us +1 food. So whereas before we were at -1 food, we were going to starve. Oh look, now we're holding steady. Our food income is 1. And now there's nothing else I can do. Oh, it's even telling me. I guess I didn't realize this. These are pretty straightforward, these tooltips. Press next turn, dummy. It's not saying that. I'm saying that. Look, it's earlier. No, later. That whole BC just really confuses the heck out of me. Count backwards and then forward. It's like doing time zones. Turn 2. I know what that means. Okay, now it's telling me a tutorial on scouting. We don't need that, but this is a tutorial. It's just a little bit of text. And look at these. Look at that art. I love that. Look at these birds. I would totally hang that on my wall if I lived in a pyramid. Tutorial notes. What is this? On the right side of the screen. Yeah, okay. It's just giving me information, telling me, hey, dude, there's things over here. This little thermometer bar. What's that? Well, you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be significant in a little bit. Oh, we're getting votes for Request Wednesday. Just a reminder, I will stream whatever you want me to stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. All you have to do is type into the chat channel during one of these streams, I vote for, and the name of a game. Alternatively, if you're watching this recorded, just type into the comments section, I vote for, and the name of the game. I'll get a little alert, and I'll add it to the list. Monday at 7 p.m. we'll do a drawing, randomly determine what's going to be streamed on Wednesday. So we have a couple of votes. Bradley Steele voting for soccer. It's a soccer game. It happens to use dune buggies, so they call it, not dune, but little cars, so they call it Rocket League. But really, it's just soccer, right? I've actually never played it. I've heard great things about it. Alex Chapman voting for a crazy, beautiful pixel art adventure game, Hyper Light Drifter. You'd think that should be a racing game. There's a game out called Red Quantum Shift? No, wait, Red Quantum, I think. It's basically a Wipeout clone. That should be called Hyper Light Drifter. Rocket Monkey's voting for Shadow Preposition Mordor. I can never... Is it over Mordor? Is it of Mordor? Are there multiples? Maybe if I spend more time with it, I'll learn. Hazy Silhouette is voting for Expedition Viking, which is not out yet. Wait, is that... Hazy Silhouette, is that it? Yeah, it's not that. I was thinking maybe it went into early access. By the way, one of the 6 games I'm giving away today, Expedition Conquistadors, which is kind of like XCOM, and your characters can be racist. I'll tell you the other 6 games in a minute. Chris Hornvossel. Chris Hornvossel, that is awesome. I'm going to have to steal that. Is saying he noted some Ben Carson Egyptology here. I think with some of my comments. Very nice. Yeah, if I lived in a pyramid. Sam Healy, Hazy Silhouette, your vote is invalid because it's not out. If you want to sub in something else, that's fine. Let's see. Colton Westrate, you've never played Rocket League? Not even once? I have not. I haven't even installed it, I don't think. Sam Healy is voting for... He always comes up with weird, interesting things. Oh, Deception. Yeah, this was a Halloween pick, wasn't it? I was super curious about it. Deception 4... Nightmare Princess, which is some weird PlayStation game where you have a haunted mansion and you try to kill people who come to it. That sounds awesome. Chris H. is voting for Long Dark, a game about getting eaten by wolves. Colton Westrate, is that a real thing, Colton Westrate? World of Diving. I think you voted for that before. World of Diving. And by that, he doesn't mean Abzu. Richard Holt, wow, here's a crazy puzzle game. This was really cute, and I loved the aesthetic of it. Is voting for Mini Metro. It's kind of a puzzle train game with the aesthetic of those tube maps in London. All right, so let's see. We now have a surplus. Well, no, we're breaking even with food. The tooltip is telling us, dude, scout here. You can't just live there all your life. What are these telling me? Oh, look, history. There you go. For further development, this is what we want to discover. Badari culture. Mission migration. Yeah, we knew that one. It's just saying, hey, get your people to 3 and you get a bonus. All right, so we know we have to drag that guy there. Look, now he's doing that thing where you shade your eyes from the sun so you can see farther. Because he's a scout. And we know it's going to take 1 turn. This is immediate. This is going to take one turn, and you can tell. This is a turn-based game in that I can always change my answers. That doesn't do anything yet. Nothing is locked in. Is that true? It's 99% true. Nothing's locked in until you hit next turn. All right, so let's scout. We hit next turn. Look at what we have found. Look, there's much more food, so better move worker here. Can you tell that the developers are Russian? Bless their hearts. Look, we now have a surplus of food. Sweet. Let's eat it. Look, we're now filling up our stores. What do you want with food? Now, so this, you might think, good Lord, this game is simple. There's only one resource. Well, look, just like these are grayed out and you can't use them, there's going to be a string of resources here. They're gradually introduced. And here, too, is where some people might think, well, what's the replay value? Is this randomly generated every turn? No, it is not. The Nile is the same Nile every time you play. The replayability of this game is not at all in the discovery, which is a design choice you might disagree with. All right, so now we're being told, dude, you saved up enough food to create a new group of workers. Oh, so this isn't just one worker. Oh, and look at that. See? He's picking berries. Now, this kind of matters, and this might be annoying. This is agriculture. This is hunting. How do you know the difference? Well, by looking at the animation. And this will matter. All right, so our population is 1. If we want to add a new worker, well, the tooltip should normally tell me how much it costs, but you're going to see we ate that food, we made a worker. If we want to add another one, it's going to cost 7 foods. It's going to be a while before we get that, right? Because we're making 0 food. But look, we can now put this guy to work. So here's an initial decision. Do I boom up to an additional worker, or do I just hold steady and keep exploring? As you play, you will kind of know in advance what you're going to find here. This right here is your city. What is the name of it even? Is this the name of the city? Hyrcanopolis, whatever. I'm going to call it Chickville. This is your city. It's always the same. What we're going to discover is that up here is kind of an industrial area, and all this develops the same over the time that you play as you're building buildings. Down here is the rich, fertile agricultural area. So we're going to uncover this first. We're going to hit next turn. Oops, there it is. Look, history, education. So what it is now telling me is that these 2 resources are being introduced. And if we look up here, oh, well, we're not getting any hammers. That's going to make buildings. Every resource in this game is only used for one thing. I never, for instance, if I want to build a building, it's never going to cost me food or culture or religion. Only ever hammers. Culture is only ever going to do the same thing. It's only ever going to be used. It's basically technology. All right, there's nothing we can do. We don't have 7 food to make new stuff. We're going to scout out here. Random event. Actually, is this random? I've seen this a lot. So they're stupid jackals. And look at this artwork again. They made specifically this cool little tableau of lean and smiling hounds, little jackals. So what do we want to do? And look at, it's not telling me what these do. Huh, I was going to say, normally it tells you exactly what's going to happen when you choose something. So they seem weak, but they're fearless. What do we do? Let's frighten them. Well, okay, I guess this is just the tooltips just give me some flavor. They're not telling me what's going to happen. Let's try to frighten them. They made it to our stock since we didn't have food there. That's right. They raided our empty grain silo. Yes, we do have the mini metro. So far for Request Wednesday, we have Rocket League, Hyper Light Drifter. Well, we have Bradley Steele, Alex Chapman, Rocket Monkey, Sam Healy, Chris Hornbostel, Colton Westrate, and Richard Holt. We have those votes down. Yeah, you guys are being mean to the fog. This is just fog. This is showing I haven't explored. It's not covering anything. I mean, it is covering something, isn't it? Oh, by the way, look at what happened back here in this little area. It now produces hammers. So we're going to put our sleepy idle guy to work on hammers. And I'm just going to hit next turn for a while because nothing's really going to happen until... Oh, okay, something happened. We've accumulated 4 culture. What do we do with this? This goes straight into our tech tree. Here, now it's lit up. Oh, these tooltips, I don't need to be telling you guys this stuff. The tooltips tell you. Let's make a discovery. We can't discover these things. And look, you can drag, look at all this. And every tech has a piece of artwork. Look at what's at the very end. Wait, that's not right. Oh, chronology, I can discover that. I can discover this single pantheon. It's a long ways off. Anyway, let's just go back and look at what's possible right now. We can discover experimental breeding, which increases our growth, the cult of the falcon, which increases our culture, which is our technology, or the domestication of dogs, which makes it faster to scout. And look, I love these little artwork things. Look, the dog, he's scared of duck, the poor duck. Kind of looks like a dog I have. What do we want? Well, I'm going to take growth just because. And look how much it costs. It's going to cost us 4 technology. So we're going to discover experimental breeding. Oh, how did I just get an achievement for that? I know I've discovered experimental breeding before. They must have just added achievements. Now you'll note this is lit up. This is now something I can interact with. This I still can't interact with. We're going to get to that in a minute. I can always go back in here. I can see how expensive it's going to be to discover other stuff. All right, I'm hitting next turn because there's nothing else I can do. These are just little messages you can click to make them go away. I don't know. They're things that it's already told you. These are ongoing concerns. Just next turn because nothing new. We're building up food. Once we get 7, we can make a new worker. Remember, our current mission is to get to 3 workers. When that happens, hunting is going to be more lucrative, and we're just going to get 5 free foods. So JC Lebedev asking, this is not available on Steam right now because of the name change. It is now called Predynastic Egypt instead of Pre-Civilization Egypt. Because of the name change, apparently Valve or 2K or whomever was responsible has relented and is like, okay, you guys can sell your game. Let's reduce the scouting duration. So you might, well, you know, you can figure that stuff out as you play. I was going to say, this is ultimately going to save you more than that. Well, I don't know the answer to that. They're tough decisions. That's one of the things I like about the game is I can see a rationale for a number of different decisions. Victory conditions. Actually, what is this? Oh, yeah, okay, this is what it's telling me. All right, you get 220 turns. That's how the game always works. Is there a fail state? I don't think there is. You can totally be sucking. You never die. You just play 220 turns. In those turns, it's saying complete missions and trials as quickly as possible. What it's not telling you is the reason you want to do this is for a better score. Now let's go check and see what my high score is in the past. Let's see. My high scores are listed. Where would those be? Is there a button here? Are listed nowhere. My scores do not exist. I've played through this game at least 3 times. I've done well at least one of those 3 times. There is no record whatsoever of that, and yet the game expects me to care about score. Am I hitting that too hard? Hazy Silhouette is voting for, he was voting for a game that wasn't out yet, is voting for Everspace. I may not know what that is. Everspace. It sounds like a fly, fight, trade space game. Left Empty says, I really want to know if the map's always the same, because if that's the case, this game's just a glorified puzzle game. Left Empty, yes, the map is always the same. The variation, the randomness, of course, the starting conditions vary. Random events vary, and the position of tribes can vary somewhat. So he's saying it's just a glorified puzzle game. I would not necessarily disagree with that. You are given a puzzle. How quickly can I solve these trials? The choices that you make determine how quickly you can solve them. And you want to solve them quickly because, unlike puzzle games, you're going to be scored on your performance. So let's check and see how many points I've made in the past. Oh, look, I can't. My score doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'll stop bitching about that because I know it just drives me crazy. They make a score and yet they don't understand the dynamic of including a score in a game. What is that? Uh, okay, I need to unite. Why is it telling me that? I'm unclear why it's explaining that to me. At any rate, here are the trials. All of these trials will come up in every single game. Tom wants to know if I'm better at this game than Hitman. That's a very good question. Let's check my scores, and I'll show you guys my high score. Let's see, where would that be listed? Where would the score on this game be? Oh, look, I can't demonstrate how good I am at this game. I can by playing, so we'll do that. All right, do we domesticate dogs? I forgot. Yes. So we scout more quickly now. Let's scout that because it's going to be done super fast. We got our free food. Now, by the way, look at this. To create another worker, it's going to cost 18 food. Where on earth are we going to get 18 food? Well, we're not at this rate. We need to discover more fertile land. Why did this stop producing food? That's weird, because this way, okay, is that random? I don't recall squares degrading like that, at least without you doing something to it. That's kind of weird. All right, well, I don't care about buildings yet. We're just going to get some food going. There we go. Now, how do we know that this is hunting and this is agriculture? And this is agriculture. We have to look at this little icon. Now, this matters because there will be things later and decisions you make based on things like, hey, do I want hunting or do I want agriculture? You know, will this benefit this type of food gathering or that type? There's even things that benefit fishing. That's an easy one. Of course, fishing is going to be on water. Look, we have 2 workers. Where'd that other one come from? Well, we found one. How do we find a worker? Scouts came across friendly nomads. See, I think this is random. And I love this artwork. That's the scouting artwork, though. I love this little colorful birds. The nomads joined us one time. I believe that's a random event. The mermaid culture, the Merimdi culture. What is that? Oh, look. This exists only for educational purposes. No gameplay here. Look, I'm learning something. All right, I just learned something about the mermaid culture. And look at all these workers I have now. All right, let's do some more scouting. I happen to know this is going to be rich agricultural area in here. And look, this is telling me, dude, you can research something. Now, why doesn't it automatically make me research something? I might be wanting to save up for these. That is an option. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and get this additional culture growth from the hawk, because culture is technology. I definitely want to start getting my text faster. All right, I've discovered hawks. Richard Holt says, is it a year per turn? And does that mean the game fails to engage with one of the most interesting things about Nile culture? The flooding, I assume, is what Richard Holt is asking about. The flooding of the Nile, the cycle of flood and recede and plant the area along the Nile, flood and recede. Children of the Nile, it does a great job with that. It's a building game by, it's not Impressions, it's Tilted Mill, right? It does not do that. There is a flooding event, but it does not engage with the yearly cycle of the Nile River. Flax culture does figure in prominently, as you guys will see in a little bit, once we get enough hammers. All right, nothing to do. Nothing's lit up, needing our attention. These are ongoing concerns. I'm just going to hit next turn. Look, it's raining. Random events. So hunting, gathering, farming, and cattle breeding are at +1. Fishing, not affected. Now, this is a 4-turn event called the Greening of the Sahara, and I believe, I don't know if this is canned. Look how lovely all that is. Let's see, we have an extra worker. Why did that happen? Well, because he finished, or she finished, scouting. Let's put him to work there, and let's just boom up a little bit and get to our maximum population. Look, we can learn something new with culture. Do we want to know cattle, experimental farming to complement our experimental breeding, or weaving? Weaving improves our hammer production. the farming lets us build a field of grain. What is that? Well, I'll show you in a second. And this just gives us a straight-up growth bonus. Actually, I'm going to take that first. You know what? I'll take this. All right. This is going to let us build stuff, and this is another dynamic in the game. You will now see, and the tooltip is telling me, this is, oh yeah, a little educational bit about experimental farming, and this is just telling me that now you can build stuff, which this tooltip is telling me, and which this little number here is telling me. This is the number of buildings I can build, and this number is going to be important for reasons that will become clear later, because here is how you build stuff. It's kind of like a tech tree, isn't it? These are all the things you can build. These are the only things you can build. Why can't I build this? Well, in red it tells me I need the technology rectangular houses. Why can't I just go up here and build this? I need technology primitive dwelling. So what can I build? Well, I know from this little thing there's only one building I can build. And that's pretty straightforward because this is the only one. It's a field of grain. And it goes in area 1, as you will see there. It's going to cost me 4 hammers, and it'll take 2 turns. Now that cost in hammers is per turn that it takes. So you do the math. 4 times 2. Anyone? That's right, 8. It's going to take me 8 hammers over 2 turns. Alright, so we can build this. Is there any reason not to? Like, don't I just want to queue it up and get it building? Kind of, look, because I choose to build it. And look at this. This is saying 2 turns, 4 hammers each turn, but nothing is happening because I have to appoint a builder. Now this right now is mandatory. It won't be mandatory later. You can just queue something up and leave it empty. Alright, so who do we want to send building? Well, let's take that person. Now you'll note what this is doing is our income for hammers is now -3 because well, we've got a balance of +1, -4. You do the math, -3. So we're losing 3 hammers every turn. That's going to happen for 2 turns. It's going to set us back to 0 hammers. But we want to build this field of grain in area 1. Is there a tooltip that tells me what area 1 is? There isn't. You'll just have to eventually learn. I think area 1... Is it here? We'll find out in 2 turns. Alright, now it's folding in the idea. Because, wait, let's see. Did we see the settlement or no? It's just adding that gameplay mechanic. Alright, so now it's adding in the military element of the game. No tutorial. Neighboring tribes and nations often consider you easy prey and an opportunity for safe profit. Well, they obviously have not seen my score in the game. If I pursue a wise policy with neighbors or keep an army, which is represented by these things, and this is a little confusing to me, I look at those and I think, my brain thinks scythe. It's a farming implement. Not a weapon, to prevent raids and worship the goddess. Alright, what's this about the goddess? We'll get to that in a little bit. So what this is showing me is this bar here is related to chance of rebellion and chance of being attacked by outsiders. This is what I need my army for, these things. And we've now got this chance. What I don't know, this probability of attack, that's not every turn. I don't... Because that basically says in 2 turns I would definitely be attacked. Definitely, pretty much. I don't think I get attacked that. So I'm not clear what 50% means in the context of this game. Alright, we've got 3 turns left in our greening of the Sahara. I got another achievement. Man, look at me getting achievements. Alright, so here, the myth about the ancestor falcon. Yeah, I just get a one-time 4-culture dump because I have learned about... the great falcon Horus. Alright. Look at all this that I have, and now I can research something, which we're going to get. Let's just take this growth bonus. We now, look, built this grain field. Now, there's nothing that tells us. We just know the number. It's not going to tell us, hey, that's agriculture. Hey, it's a 4 because you built a grain field. It's just giving us a visual indication that this is improved and a numerical indication that you might want to put a dude to work there. All right. We have a dude who is unemployed. Let's continue scouting. Oh, look. We can build 1 building. Here now is where it gets a little bit... I wish that they'd done... I'd really like to see the interface be a little clearer here. This right now isn't an issue because I know there's only 1 building I can make. These are clearly grayed out. I can't build these. Why not? because I don't have primitive dwellings, I haven't learned them, and because I haven't learned the cultivation of flax. This little tract down here are flax fields. If you've played that horrid, what was that thing called? Trial of the Nile? Shoot. You guys were talking about it earlier. That terrible MMO where you just build stuff. Desert, tail in the sand, tail in the desert. I think tail in the desert. Yeah, flax figured. You'll be traumatized by flax the rest of your life if you play that tail in the desert thing. So here's flax, here's agriculture. So that's why I can't build these. So obviously this is the only thing I can build. We're going to get this started. Now you'll note nobody's working on it. It's going to take 3 turns, 5 hammers each turn. If I were to put someone to work on this now, holy cats, that's not going to work out very well because we're going to run out of hammers. So I queued that up. Can't really do anything with it yet. Oh, here's something that you can't undo. I set this. Actually, can I undo it? You know what? I guess it doesn't matter yet. I think maybe I could undo it. Because one of the things I said before is once you can always undo something because it's turn-based. I thought once you queued up something to be built, you can't undo that. I could be wrong about that. All right, so nothing needs our attention here. We discovered cattle. We know that. We built this grain field. That's awesome. Scouts reported that our neighbors, the Dumb Palm tribe. So some of this is random. Why would you call yourself that? That's a terrible name. Dumb Palm. Consider us weak and gathers warriors to burn our settlement. But they can change their mind. So this is telling us, this is giving us an option to either be friends with them or grow our tribe big enough to where they think, we don't want to attack him. Now, this is listed over here with a little countdown, and it's red to show you this needs your attention. And we can just click this to show. So we either need to get to 5 people, which is going to be trivially easy, or, what is it? Become friends with them. Do they show up on the map? How can I be friends with them if they're not on the map yet? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just grow to 5 people anyway. Alright, next turn. Look, we now have enough foods to add a worker. There we go. Is that the Dumb Palm tribe? Looks like a lion tribe to me. Give me a tooltip. Oh, yeah, lion tribe. See? Did I call it or did I call it? We need to send an envoys to interact with them. All right. Production found. We came across a small settlement. I think this is a random event as well. Just a little minor bonus of hammers. The Green of Sahara, sadly it is over. If you recall, this was 4. Now it's only 3. So let's see. We're going to add a worker, of course. There's almost never no... Well, that's not true. When you can add a worker, you usually will add a worker. There's sometimes that you don't want to, and we'll get to that in a moment. All right, so the thread has passed, and this dropped. It went from 50% to 1.5%. Oh, yeah, I guess it's going up a 0.5% every turn. All right, so we've placated those jerks who were going to attack us, because now there are 5 of us. So we can't build any more, right? Well, the tooltip seems to imply that we can if we have 30 food, and we can. We can totally exceed this number, but as you exceed this number, you take a negative penalty to each of your resources. The way you raise this number is by building these dwellings, and this track here is basically your urbanization track. This gives you population, this improves your agriculture, this is your flax production for hammers. And where do we learn that? Oh, look, primitive dwellings right there. So I can save up till I get to 30, which is going to be a couple of turns, or I can go ahead and improve my hammer production with weaving. Let's weave. JC Lebedev wants to know if this guy down here, the idle worker, is smoking. He is not smoking, JC Lebedev. That hasn't been invented yet. He's yawning because he's bored, because he's idle. He's got nothing to do. Now, our hammer income is 2 per turn. It's not enough. This is going to cost us, if you do some math, spending 5 every turn for 3 turns. It's going to cost us 15 hammers. So until we get 15 hammers stored up, we're not going to be able to build this field of grain, which is fine. We'll put someone to work getting a hammer. Now, here's this little neutral tribe here. What do we want to do? And how do I know they're neutral? How do I get information about them? Where's the tooltip? Well, this is kind of a little stilted. But if I want information about them, I have to drag this person here. And here's the menu of things that I can do with this group. And here's where I was telling you, anytime you make a decision, it's always clearly indicated on the tooltip. So trade, if I leave, and I have to leave the worker there to do this as an ongoing thing, will cash in, will give us extra hammers if we give them a food every turn. Now that's a net bonus. That is basically saying when I put that guy to work, he's, well, you can do the math there. So trade is always like a favorable thing. It's never going to say, hey, pay 4 hammers to get 1 food. We can just give them stuff, and if we give them 3 hammers every turn in 5 turns, our relationship to them will move up a notch. Right now they're neutral. It'll go to friendly. I think it's just enemy neutral friendly, if I'm not mistaken. So we can just shunt hammers into our diplomacy with them to make them friendly. We can raid them. I can't... Oh, huh. I was thinking you couldn't do this till you get an army going, but I guess we can. So to raid them, it's just going to require a food preparation period where we burn a lot of food. If we succeed, we steal a ton of hammers from them. Oh, this is what requires army. Oh, it doesn't require army. It requires food. All right. So, or we can subdue them, which is 3 food every 100% chance, 90%. Why would we not subdue them? I guess you could raid them repeatedly and just kind of farm them for resources. This, when you subdue them, they vanish from the map and they give us a worker. And then that space becomes a space we can harvest. I don't know what something else is. Oh, something else is just canceled. Just a reminder, in 13 minutes, I'm going to be giving away free games. And those games are... Oh, I should have written this down. Let me just tell you real briefly about the free games. I'm giving away a copy of Expeditions Conquistador, which is like XCOM, where your characters can be racists. I'm giving away a copy of Shadow Warrior, the Shadow Warrior 1, the prequel to the sequel. No, the remake. Not the original, like, one from the 90s. The remake of Shadow Warrior, not the one that just came out. I'm giving away a copy of Xanadu Next. What is that, you might wonder? Xanadu Next. I'll tell you about that at 7 p.m. Giving away a copy of Farm Expert 2017. And finally, copies of End of Mine. You're probably going, what is that? I'll tell you in a little bit. And a copy of Iron Fish. That's right. Those 6 games will be given away free to 6 separate lucky winners at 7 p.m. Pacific. Just a little over 10 minutes. All right, we're not going to mess with these guys now. Let's just do some scouting and uncover some more areas that might be useful. Actually, let's cross the river here, because this is where we get flax going, I think. Nothing to do. We don't have enough. Nothing's lit up. Just saying, hey, next turn, dude. We have scouted. You know what? Sorry, I have some cat management to do. Actually, I don't even think I have to unplug. Stand by for cat management. Come here, fatty. Thank you. All right. Here. Come here. Oh, God. You're so big. All right. Cat management accomplished. Sorry about that. I should have paused there. Alright, this stream is now cat enabled. Oh shoot, it's all tangled up. Alright, we are now live streaming with a cat involved. Let's see, okay, so, oh yeah, we have an idle worker. Where do we want to put, oh, we discovered pretty much bupkis over there. You have to unfog. So I kind of wish, because I've played the game so many times and I kind of have a rough approximation, why doesn't it just go ahead and tell me what's under there? Okay, whatever, fair enough. Because it's going to impact my score. If I want to optimize my score and beat my high score of, let's check my previous high score. Oh, it doesn't exist. So, look. I should just be banging on next turn, right? Nothing changed. And that's correct. Like, nothing is lighting up. Nothing's animated around here, and there's no number. Just bang on. Aha! See, now that is telling me, look, you can research something, dude, which we want. Do we want primitive dwellings, which we do, because it's going to allow us to build both primitive dwellings to increase our worker capacity and a cemetery of commoners? Interesting. Do we want early rituals, which will kick in a new resource called religion? That'll be fun. Or do we want, oh look, I'm traumatized. Do we want to be able to build fields of flax? Get away from those stupid flax. All right. Now, here's what I was wondering. Am I now locked in to build this? Oh, builders are busy. Oh, can I undo this? Cancel. Sweet. All right, so I'm right. I don't think you ever do any, with the exception of combat, anything you do on your turn, you can always undo. All right, we're going to build this right here. And I think everything, yeah, I think everything in these tiers is pretty much the same cost. The idea is as you're working your way down here, each column is costs pretty much the same thing. Is that 65? Yeah, not quite. It costs the same number of hammers, 68, 68, 68. Same number of hammers, but it looks like the time it takes varies. It's 88, 88. Oh, okay. I like that. All right. Pretty elegant. All right, this is the one we want to set up, though, because we want to be able to increase this as we're gathering food. What is it going to take? We need 30. We need places for people to live. Sam Healy wants to know when you research windmills. You would think they would have water mills along the Nile, right? Why didn't the Egyptians ever do that? But no, I don't think you research windmills in this game. I'm trying to remember. No, no windmills that I know of. Or water mills. Oh, look what we're discovering. Look! A new god. Besides Horus, that's our bird god, our priest suggests we begin to honor and make sacrifices to a new bird god. Will Horus be jealous? It will become an additional burden, but this god will help us for certain. What will we decide? This now is a permanent choice. And here again is where this is partly what introduces the variability in this game. The choice I make here is going to be permanent for the rest of the game, and they're both valid approaches. This is a difficult choice. If we want this new bird god in our life, then our growth, and this, look at that, this is permanent. We are getting new technology, 10% technology earning bonus every turn at the cost of a minor food ding. If we refuse this bird god, oh, we just don't get that bonus. So, do we want to emphasize growth or growth of population, food production, or technology? Let's accept a new bird god. 3%, that's not going to hurt us early, right? Feels like getting 10% offsets losing 3%, right? This is a 7% net gain for us. How's that for using math? Now, looky here. How do I know that this new bird god is costing me food? See this tooltip? Well, one of those things represents the penalty we are receiving for our new bird god. This tooltip here, was that a discovery? At any rate, just trust me, it's in the tooltips, even if it doesn't specifically say. You get this because you are now a fan of the new bird god. In about 5 minutes, giving away 6 free games. Copy of Xanadu Next, Expedition Conquistadors, Shadow Warrior, Farm Expert 2017, End of Mine, and Iron Fish. Those could be yours. Nothing to do here. Oh, this is a waste. Just picking one food. Actually, there's not much better he can do. Let's send him to explore. You get over here. Actually, let's get some hair. Yeah, you know what? I happen to know. I think there's Bupkis over there. Let's check this out. Oh shoot! Look, I just screwed up. This guy, back up. Where's the autosave? I didn't assign an idle worker. Why did you guys let me do that? I blame all of you for not reminding me. There. We'll just. Oh, let's go fishing. Cause look, a whole new animated card. Look, fishing. I like those quite a bit. I'm going to go on record as saying, is this true? I prefer these graphics to Civilization 6, I mean. That's right, I said it. Nothing changed. Just bang on the next turn. Oh, shoot, we've got enough hammers easily to increase our housing production, so let's do that. The Small Lion Tribe declared that this is a random event. Those that little tribe off to the right, they say, dudes, one of your people committed a crime against us. signs from our gods say that we're not guilty. Oh, yeah, I see. Our gods say, hey, we didn't do anything wrong. But those Lion Tribe gods, they're like, yeah, you did something wrong. We either need revenge or compensation. So we can just tell them to go pound sand, which will raise our likelihood of being attacked. Which, again, I'm not sure on the math of that. We can, for 8 turns, lose a bunch of production. Forget that. Surrender. Or just... Oh, surrender the accused. Yeah, or we can just let a worker die. Yeah, screw those little guys. Oh, I guess I wasn't paying attention. So now they're our enemy. And then we got a bonus here. So what can you do to interact with an enemy? Well, you can't trade with them. You can subdue them. You can give them a gift to make them friendlier, which will make them neutral. Or you can raid them to steal the hammers from them. I kind of want to do this. Let's see. 5 turns, losing 3 food every turn. No, we don't want to do that because we don't have enough food production. They can just sit there. Fine. Be our enemies. We don't care. Let's start working on that dwelling. Although, frankly, I want to get this going. All right. He'll build a new farm right here. Does it say Area 2? Yeah, you're supposed to remember that's Area 2. Look, we can research technology. Do we want... Okay, let's start getting the... Yeah, forget flax. We are now going to learn early rituals. Here's the educational value. Read that tooltip. Complex spells, ritual dances, and sacrifices. As you can see, pre-dynastic Egyptians have not yet discovered the Oxford comma. Continuing on, the Egyptians believed that these were ways to affect the spirit world. At least they get credit for proper use of affect and effect, right? We'll give them that. All right, so now we have authority and cults. What? Oh, the research is called authority. All right. This right here, which I think of as religion, it's actually authority, which is a little odd in today's Western world where there's a division between religion and state, because I think of authority as an aspect of the political reality. Here, it's an aspect of the religious reality. And why is that? Well, look here. Look what lit up. Now, this is the only thing we can't use yet, which I'll get to in a minute. But now the tooltip is telling us, dude, honor a cult. So there's nothing supernatural here. This is just us deciding what cult to honor with our authority. Okay, now here's a little something. This is also a little bit confusing. I have +1 authority per turn. Wait, why is it letting me choose a cult? At any rate, as I accumulate this, I can spend it. Oh, it's free. Okay, the first one is free. Each time you honor it, it becomes more expensive. I can spend it on a bonus that I get by choosing one of the cults to worship. So here, if I honor our forefathers, I'm going to get a tech bonus, because remember that Ankh is tech. If I worship the heavenly cow nut, that's right, if I become a nut for heavenly cows, then gathering, farming, and cattle breeding give me an additional food for 3 turns. So this affects growth, this affects technology. The Horus one, look at this. I love this one. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it changes over the course of the game. Well, hunting and fishing are better. This one eventually becomes super useful. You'll see later. I'm not going to do one of these yet. I'm going to save up until... I'm going to wait for an appropriate time. This is a different dynamic than the other things, in that you want to store this up and then kick it into gear at a specific time. In a mere minute or so, I'm going to be giving away 6 games, just so you guys know. All right, so, oh shoot, it's mandatory. Look, I can't hit next turn. All right, so let's see, what do we want to do? Excuse me. I guess let's push some food production. Well, even then I don't have much. All right. So, because I knew this was fishing and this is berry gathering. Oh, everywhere, yeah. Gathering, farming, and cattle breeding, hunting, and fishing. +2. You know what? Forget it. Let's just do the, that doesn't matter. Let's just do the +1 Ankh. We're just going to tech boom with... We're going to honor our forefathers. For 5 turns, look, and it's even on the map. Look how cool that is. Now, it's only going to last 5 turns, and this is telling us there, over there, very clearly. All right, I'm going to hit next turn. And now, so did you see that? It said population 30 people. What? No, we have 5 people. Total people in the settlement, 30? It's pretty modest. All right. I would like to give you, Left Empty says, stop going to that screen. What can you guys not see? Those are their legs, right? Wait, what's the screen? Stop going to this screen? Why? Oh, that is not what you guys get your mind. That is not what you're thinking it is. Is it? Yeah, why would your forefathers have giant erections? I don't know. All right, if you would like a free game, because I'd like you to have one, please type your name into the chat channel while I explain what these games are to you. Now, I'm going to put this up here just in case you're watching a recording of this. You probably couldn't care less about free games being given away. If you would like a free copy of Iron Fish, End of Mine, Farm Expert 2017, Xanadu Next, Shadow Warrior, or Expeditions Conquistador, type your name into the chat channel. I'm going to randomly draw 6 of your names, and in that order you will get to choose amongst which games you would like. So for instance, if you're in first place, you get 6 games to choose among. If you're in 6th place, you are freed from the burden of choosing. All right, let me tell you about these games while you guys type your names into the chat channel. Expeditions Conquistador, Chris H. we have, is a game I really like with set in the Conquistador times with an XCOM conceit, where there's a world that you're exploring, you're making decisions on an overmap, and then it breaks down into tactical battles. A lot of cool character development, a lot of interesting choices you have to make in terms of characters. As I have mentioned sort of humorously, your characters can be racist, which means if you have natives in your party, some characters get a debuff. Or if you have a party that consists only of Europeans, if they're racist, they get a buff. There's just cute little traits like that. Listen to me describing racism as cute. Chris H. Bradley Steele, huge soccer fan, also in for the drawing. Rocket Monkey in for the drawing. So that's Expedition Conquistadors. Shadow Warrior is a remake by a group of Poles who are really accomplished at first-person shooting called People Can Fly. And Shadow Warrior is their second game after Hard Reset, which is really, both of them are quite good. Space Explorer, and I'll verify the names before I do a drawing, so. Tony Tausha. Tony, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome. I hope you win, Tony. Pony Carnival, who was funding this stream. He'll give you $1 if you subscribe to this stream. JC Lebedev. JC Leb. Meta Baron. Big Underrail fan. Yo Alex. Richard Holt, who wants us to call him Forefathers Pants. I don't understand that reference, Richard Holt. Pat Bateman, everyone's favorite American Psycho, of course. Hello, Cho Steven Yunso. If you'd like a free game, please type your name in the chat channel. Happy to have you here. Left Empty. Bangarang 2003. Now, I should let you know, in order to receive your free game, you're going to have to navigate YouTube's torturous interface for how to send me a message, so I can reply to your message with your Steam code. And I'll explain that before after we draw the names. Corky in for one of 6 free games. Stephen Cho. Got you down here, Stephen Cho. Also, I don't think I've seen you here before, Stephen. Welcome. Tony Tosha, who we do know from the Quarter to 3 forum. Tousset. Wait, Tony is saying Tusha is Toussaint? Tony, whatever it is, I love how memorable that last name is. Hazy Silhouette, put in an empty field. I think he meant to say his name. Hazy Silhouette, if you wanted your name in there, be sure to type that in there. Touche. Oh, I see, right, Touche, right. Let's see. And so far, that's it. So I'm going to just go down the line. I'll tell you about the games in a minute, because you're going to have to choose which ones you want. Farm Expert 2017 needs no introduction. Dirty Hippie, spelled with a U, welcome here. Now go take a bath. Stephen Cho says he's watched the videos on teaching board games. I hope that they were helpful. Good. I'm about to post another one, I think. I'm shooting one right now. For a game that probably no one needs to learn, but I don't care. I'm enjoying it. So Farm Expert 2017 needs no introduction. You farm, right? And believe it or not, I think people actually like it. End of Mine is a 2D side-scrolling platformer that features a unique art style and draws inspiration from the horror and sci-fi genres. End quote. That's from their Steam page. I stopped reading after 2D side-scrolling platformer. I just kind of fall asleep there. Those words are just really difficult for me to get past. Although it does look cute. I think I fired it up for a little bit. You're just running around. You're a miner, hence End of Mine. And you've got like a flamethrower and guns that you upgrade. And End of Mine. Iron Fish bills itself as a psychological deep-sea thriller. Iron Fish. I didn't last very long with it because, maybe to its credit, it's kind of slow. You are a diver and you've got a special submarine and you're sent on missions. I don't think it's open world, but I think there's like a hub. And you drive the submarine to a mission and then you get out and you explore and you upgrade equipment. And sharks will mess with you if you don't avoid them. It seemed weird. So that's Iron Fish. So Iron Fish, End of Mine, Farm Expert 2017, Shadow Warrior, Expeditions Conquistador, and finally, the Rocket Monkey says he thinks it's End of the Mine. Rocket Monkey, you might be right. That makes way more sense. And then finally, Xanadu Next. You're like, what? All right, let me tell you about Xanadu Next. Do you guys know the games Legend of Ys, Journey of Ys, something of Ys, Y-S, right? They're these JRPG action RPGs. It's called a JA-RPG, a JARPG. A Japanese action RPG. The Ys games are made by a developer called Falcom. This is their latest game. It is not a Legend of Ys. Yes. It's called Xanadu Next, and I'm going to read you the bullet points before we draw the winners' names. It features an interconnected world full of secrets, real-time combat with dozens of unique abilities, unique gameplay systems that keep the experience fresh, atmospheric visuals and music in classic Falcom tradition, and then finally, exploration rewarded with rich backstory, which to me means you can run around and find text logs. Yeah. But I did kind of like the Ys games that I've seen. I haven't tried this one yet, but I am curious to the Ys games. These guys know what they're doing. One Steam user described Xanadu Next as having, quote, banging level design, sick combat. I think that's how the kids talk these days. All right, so here are the contestants. We have number 1, Chris H. Number 2, Bradley Steele. Number 3, Rocket Monkey. Number 4, Space Explorer. Number 5, Tony Touche. I think I did that right. Number 6, good lord, what did that? Oh, Pony Carnival. Number 7, JC Lebedev. Number 8, Meta Baron. Number 9, Yo Alex. Number 10, Richard Holt. Number 11, Pat Bateman. Number 12, Left Empty. Number 13, Unlucky 13, Bangerang 2003. 14, Corky. 15, Stephen Cho. And 16, Dirty Hippie. If I left you off of that list, make sure in the next 20 seconds to type your name into the chat channel. Left Empty is saying the original Xanadu game was incredible. A crazy huge tower with pretty hardcore RPG elements, especially for an action RPG. Left Empty, it didn't even occur to me that Xanadu Next was a sequel, but of course, why would they call it Xanadu Next? Huh, okay. Well, now I'm even more curious about it. All right, so I am now going to randomresult.com. Of those 16 of you, 6 of you will be winners. So, numbers between 1 and 16, pick 6, make them distinct. All right, so I'm going to hit draw now and then read the order of the numbers. In that order, you will get to choose amongst one of the 6 games you would like. All right, here we go. Do you need me to read again? I'm just going to run down the list. 1, Chris Horn. Yeah, I don't need to do that. You guys heard me once. You can rewind the tape if you want to verify everything. Here we go. All right, 15, 2, 9, 5, 8, 14. Which means, Stephen Cho, you get to pick first amongst those 6 games. I'll go over the list in a second again. Bradley Steele, you get to pick second. Number 9. Yo Alex, you get to pick third. Number 5. Tony Touche, you get to pick fourth. Number 8. Meta Baron, you get to pick 5th. And then number 14. Corky, you don't get to pick. You get assigned a game. So Stephen Cho, and what you guys will have to do is after you choose the game you would like, make sure at some point to go to the page for the Quarter to Three channel on YouTube. And along the top there are different options like videos, blah, blah, blah. And then one of them will say about, where you can read about that channel. Under that option, you can send me a message. You can just send the channel owner, just Quarter to Three, a message. I will get that message and I will respond with your Steam code. So make sure, Stephen Cho, that you figure out how to do that. Let's see, who else? Tony Touche, you'll also have to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to contact you. Yo, Alex, I don't know if you've won anything. But to get your Steam code, you're going to have to send me a message. So, Stephen Cho, of these 6 games, would you like a copy of Expeditions Conquistador, Shadow Warrior, Xanadu Next, Farm Expert 2017, End of the Mine, or Iron Fish? It's totally up to you. My cat is giving you advice on which one to pick, but he is not eligible to convey advice. All right, the cat has vacated the premises. He's disgusted with the games that are on offer. He doesn't want any one of them. He wants no part of that. So, Stephen Cho, the proud recipient of either Expeditions Conquistador, Shadow Warrior, Xanadu Next, Farm Expert 2017, End of the Mine, or Iron Fish. After Stephen picks, Bradley Steele. Be thinking about, of those games, what are 2 you want? Because Stephen Cho might choose your first one. So again, Shadow Warrior is by Stephen Cho. Takes Xanadu Next. Stephen Cho, the proud winner of Xanadu Next. You'll have to let us know how it is. And make sure to send me a message, Stephen Cho. And if you're having issues with that, I'll be streaming for another hour or so. Let me know. I'll make sure we figure that out. Bradley Steele, would you like a copy of Shadow Warrior, Expeditions Conquistador, Farm Expert 2017, End of the Mine, or Iron Fish? Iron Fish, a little underwater diving game where you drive a submarine around and you go to a mission, you get out of the submarine and you swim around, and there are sharks and there are treasure and there's a Z-axis of movement. End of the Mine is a 2D side-scrolling platformer. So you only got the 2 axes of movement. But End of the Mine features a unique art style and it draws inspiration from the horror and sci-fi genre. Let's see, Expeditions Conquistador, very XCOM-y. Bradley Steele is taking Iron Fish. Yeah, take one for the team. I feel like I should say that like Negan after he hits someone over the head with a baseball bat. Iron Fish is that baseball bat. Iron Fish may be fine. I got super frustrated in a mission where I had to I don't want to color anybody's opinion of Iron Fish. Bradley Steele, it's a perfectly cromulent choice. I admire that you're willing to give it a shot. And Bradley Steele says he would have chosen Xanadu Next. I think I might have oversold Xanadu Next. I haven't played it. I know the 2 that I won't tell you the 2 that I know that don't suck, but that's one that I don't know whether or not it sucks. But it does seem intriguing, doesn't it? Now we are down to the choice of Yo Alex. Yo Alex, would you like Expeditions Conquistador, Shadow Warrior, Farm Expert, or End of the Mine? One of these will be yours later tonight when I send you the Steam code for it. Rocket Monkey is saying the store page for Ironfish is what kind of sold him on it. That he would have chosen that based on the store page. While we are deciding that, I'm actually going to go back and just hit next turn a few times, because why not? So, Yo Alex, one of those 4 games can be yours. Let me know which one you like. Let's see, can we afford? Yeah, we can get this building. Let's see, who do we want to take? Oh, no, we're not going to take anyone off of work because we want to have everyone out here farming onks. Okay. This is a mission. Is this a mission? Yeah, okay, this is telling us in 5 turns, this right here. Is that one of the missions? It is not. Well, at any rate, this Falcon thing is about to start in 5 turns. It's warning us, hey, you might want to save up these resources. And it basically was all the available resources saying, those are going to be useful for this upcoming trial. Yo Alex took Expedition Conquistadors. All right, that takes us now to Tony. I'm just going to say Tony T. Or Slapbone. He identified himself as Slapbone on the Quarter to 3 forums. Would you like a copy of End of the Mine, Farming Simulator 2017, or what was the other one? I'm already forgetting. Or Shadow Warrior. How could I forget? All right. Let's then go now to here we can research something. Tony is taking End of the Mine, a 2D platformer. He obviously has more patience for that genre than I do. Metabaron, not only do you get to decide whether you would like Shadow Warrior or Farming Sim 2017, you also get to decide what Corky will get. Let's research, oh god, Flax. Is there any reason to save up for one of these instead? Early cosmogony. There's a word you don't see very often. Badari culture. This over here was telling us, hey, we should discover it. But I'm going to take my time. There's no need to rush Badari culture. Let's get our Flax going first. Metabaron is choosing Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior 1. Shadow Warrior 1.1. The remake of the Shadow Warrior, which isn't even a remake. The reboot. There you go. It's a reboot of Shadow Warrior. Corky, I have some good news and some bad news for you. The good news is you don't have to deal with any difficult decisions about which game you would like. The bad news is you now have a copy of Farming Simulator 2017. I actually don't know if that's bad news. I tried one of those. It might have been Farm Expert. I don't know. You guys were mentioning this in the channel. There's Farming Simulator and Farm Expert. I'm not clear on the differences between them, but one that I installed and tried once, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go play something I understand. So, Corky, it might be awesome. I know some people swear by it, but you have won Farming Simulator 2017. So once this stream is over, I'll send out the codes. I think Tony and Steven, you are the two who need to make sure to figure out how to message me. I advise you to go ahead and see if you can do that now. If you have issues doing that, come on back and let me know in the chat channel. I'll talk you through it, make sure we arrange it so you can get your Steam codes. The other ones will be going out once we get a little farther into ancient Egypt. Nothing to do now but hit next turn because we're farming our onks. And that's got 2 more turns to go. With the aid of our forefathers. Look at us, just shoveling in the resources. That is kind of the appeal of this game, is moving around piles of resources and deciding when and where to spend them. And that's kind of it. Like, there's no map with territory control. There's no diplomacy. You know, you guys saw what I could do here. That's its equivalent of diplomacy. It's just, hey, accumulate these resources, spend them on better ways to accumulate these resources, and then every now and then a mission comes up, and try to get as many points beating that mission as you can, because on your high score list, you want to beat your previous high score, which you can check by going to, where's the high score option? Let's see, high score, where would that be? Oh, that's right, they didn't include it. Now, we have no more Ankh farming. We have stopped honoring our forefathers. We're now basically saying, whatever, forefathers, screw you guys. Let's go ahead and build this farm here. That is a sad little attempt at resource production, so why don't you check that out? Oh, look. All right, this is this. So I don't. There are trials and there are missions. One of them is the thing that gives you a bronze, silver, or gold medal, which determines your score at the end. The trials, I think, just ding you with some penalty if you don't meet them. Let's find out. So now there's a race to build the Sanctuary of the Falcon. History, 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 right there. Educational value. What does that mean? All right. Other people are building it. They're going to finish it in 10 turns. We want to beat them there. So, oh, how do we get overpopulation? I think I scouted. Oh, yeah, I found a worker scouting. And it's warning me, dude, you only have room for 5 people. That guy doesn't have anywhere to live. He's sleeping on someone's porch. You'll note there is now, for overpopulation, -2, overpopulation, -1, overpopulation, -2, overpopulation, -1. Ouch. We want to give this guy some place to live pronto, which we will do in the building interface as soon as it's available. In the meantime, let's honor a forefather. But now you'll note it costs 7 authority. Oh, God, I can't unsee those as erections now. You jerks. Now it will cost 7 authority. We're just going to save up our authority, right? Because there's no reason to spend this as soon as you get it. It's not like another resource that you might want to spend more quickly. All right, so we're being told here, overpopulation, that sucks. Blah. Here's our little Sanctuary of the Falcon thing. Is it not going to tell us what happens if we don't build it? I guess it's not. Well, you will note, how do you build a Sanctuary of the Falcon? It's a little hard to tell, but look at that. Sanctuary of the Falcon. It's going to take us 5 turns, a total of 15 hammers each turn. Good Lord, that's expensive. But it's going to give us an area on the map that lets us gather authority. I don't know that we're going to make that. The only prerequisite is, maybe we could make it. I think if we had focused on flax farms first, we would have an easier time meeting that challenge. All right. Oh, actually, we can't trade with them anymore. Because we could have given them food for hammers, right? Oh. How do we make them friendly to us again? Or neutral, at least. Pay them hammers. Yeah, I don't want to do that. All right, well, there's a definite shortage of places that we can go. Let's get this going. Yeah. We know the secret of farming. We can... Okay, I don't... What was that mission? Well, whatever. We know the secret of farming. We can spend less time hunting and gathering. We can grow this by ourselves. What? Discover experimental farming. I thought we did that earlier. Oh, I see. This mission had... Could we have seen this mission? I don't recall seeing this. If we discovered this and built 2 fields of grain, we get a bonus of food dumped into our stores. I don't recall that being listed anywhere. Oh, well, here's a mission. Get our tribe up to 8. Then workers become cheaper, and that's permanent, but we get a one-time huge bonus of resources. Okay, here, so if you recall previously, that bird cult, when we worshipped it, just helped hunting and fishing, right? That was lame. Here is now what he does, which is awesome. Accelerate building by 2 turns. Now that doesn't just accelerate the building, that saves the hammers that would have been spent on those 2 turns. And most buildings, the exception being things like the Sanctuary of the Falcon, most buildings take 3 turns. So if you save up your authority to use to honor this Falcon cult, you can do a building in 1 turn and save yourself hammers, get the benefit of the building out more quickly. This is hugely useful, and when I've played, it's the one I've used most often. Now, presumably there's also a viable strategy to use this for growth and this for technology, but I just am so attached to getting buildings out, for all intents and purposes, in 1 turn. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to wait until we have a building getting queued up. That'll also help us. Okay, here we go. Let's queue up the building. We've got 34 hammers stored up. We could get that going. All right, we want to try to build this right here. It's going to take 6 turns, and it's going to take 15 hammers each turn. If we spend our authority on Horus, that shaves 2 turns off of there, which means it's only going to take 4 turns, which will be a total of 60 hammers. We don't have 60 hammers, and we furthermore don't have any easy way to get up to 60 hammers at this point. So we're not going to do that yet. But what we are going to do... Oh, okay, look here. Shoot. That's why I can't do the flax. Can't construct it because I have to scout an area south of the city. All these developments go in preset locations. Is it saying? Yeah, I've found most of these grain places. Well, at any rate, I can't do these because I haven't... Well, I can't do this one because I haven't scouted it yet. So, let's see. South of the city. That? See, I think the city's up here. The game doesn't really tell you, though. I'm pretty sure flax... Is flax down here? Alright, whatever. Stupid flax. There. Research down there. See if we can get some flax going. Lots of options. Let's get some technology. Early cosmogony. Love that word. What was that? Badari culture. Gives us food growth. We're not quite ready for that. Hammer growth we want. So we're going to learn component tools. I like that authority. We'll get that later. Look at that art. That's unique. That's unique for component tools. That artwork doesn't exist anywhere else in the game. For Request Wednesday, and we are taking requests, Corky is voting for Neo Scavenger. If I've missed any other requests, let me know. Neo Scav. Tony T, and is he being facetious, is saying Farming Simulator 2017 is his game of the year. You've got to be... That's a joke, right? Seriously? Like, it's that good? Tell me more. So let's see. This is gonna. Do we want? Oh yeah, we definitely want that, right? Because we're really at a huge disadvantage by not having some place for this guy to live. He's dinging us in all of our resources. What a jerk. So we can build that. And check this out. We are going to honor Falcon Horus. Looky there, 1 turn, only 6 hammers. How good am I at this game? Oh, Yuho Snellman voting for a really cool... how would you characterize that? Is it a roguelike? Is it like a dungeon crawler? Dungeon of the Endless. It's also got a weird sort of like racing thing where you have to like find the goal and then get out super fast. I remember it being really challenging. All right, here someone was asking before about, does this game model the yearly flooding of the Nile? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. What it does do is this every now and then. Something referencing the flooding of the Nile. So this year the gods are good to us. The Nile flood was good. We got additional crops. What do we want to do with them? And yeah, I think this is a recurring event that gets rolled up sometimes. With this additional food, we can either give it to the gods and earn onks, which is our technology. Think of those as flasks and civilization, or we can just take a bunch of food, get 25 food into our stores. And I'm going to do that to make sure we fill up our population quickly, because now we can have 8 people. And there, we have all of them. We completed our mission, and look at this. We get this. So I just did this crazy, super efficient snowballing of resources because I'm that good at the game. Our next mission. So I think missions are things that periodically appear. Challenges are the things that give you points, so you can beat your high score, which we'll go look at my high score in a minute and see how well I'm doing. The new mission, explore a bunch of areas nearby. Once I do that, scouting takes place in half of the time, and I earn extra resources from it. And I get a whole bunch of technology. So that's a super long-term goal, and it is tracked, oh, right here. You can always click that and see how many out of 48 have I scouted. It's going to be a while before we get that. All right, we have so many people in our tribe now. We also need places for them to live. Also, we want to see if we can do this. That's just not going to work, right? We're just going to have to say, forget it to that temple. I don't think there's any efficient way to do that without having built flax fields. So we're just going to say, forget the stupid falcon guy. What do we want to do about these jerks? It's going to cost us a bunch of food. We've got a bunch of food. You know what? Fine, we're just going to leave them alone. Let's just explore the heck out of this area. You explore there. You explore there. And look, we've got so much food, we can immediately create another worker, but it'll put us in overpopulation, so we're not going to do that. And because we don't really need a bunch of food, we're just going to do a bunch of exploring. And you go there, and you go there. And we could queue up a building, but it doesn't. Well, actually, should we go ahead and get this going? No, it's just going to help us with food. That's not going to happen. All right. So here's where I wish they would tweak the interface. One of the areas where I'm like, really, the interface, there's 2 little things that bother me about the interface. This one right here, I know I can build 2 buildings. Now, I don't know how well this reads for you guys through the video, but the difference between this, something that's already been built, and this, something that can be built, is not clear enough. These 2, I can clearly tell the difference. This is black and white. This is color. I can't build this. I can't build these because there's some prerequisite I have not met. Pretty straightforward. But the sort of the vaguely saturated color here versus the vaguely desaturated color there, not distinct enough. And this is going to get to be a kind of a bit of a problem later in terms of quickly reading this interface, this little tree right here. Now what helps is noting this number. So when I click on this, I know, okay, there are only 2 buildings where the color is slightly desaturated to indicate that they're eligible to be built. That's one area that the interface bugs me. Another area is sometimes the zoom, like, whoops, all this up here, like, couldn't they have done something to fit this on one screen? Because I kind of feel later in the game there's a lot of I need to see what's going on up here, what's going on down there. That kind of bothers me. I guess I would have had to squish some of the artwork. I don't know. All right, we're not doing any building yet because, yeah, we're not. Let's finish up some scouting. We have so many people living in our tribe. See, Bupkis down there in the bottom right. Bupkis. 48 people live here. Pretty small settlement. All right, nothing for these workers to do except explore. Oh, look, we can build a 3rd building. What is that? Well, I happen to know it's the flax. We've now uncovered a place where we can get flax going. So let's build that. Let's put this guy to work. If, let's see, we only have 8 authority, to honor Horus will cost 9 authority. So you know what I'm going to do? Wait a turn. Here's me min-maxing. It's kind of what the game is. Like I said, if you like shuffling around pools of resources, which I confess I kind of do, this game will certainly satisfy that craving. Bupkis, Bupkis, Bupkis. Ah, looky there. Look at that. So this is something that is notable. I kind of wish there was a tooltip for that, because every game there's this big old chunk of hammer production there. And later you can research a mine that goes there. It always and only goes there. This is a prominent characteristic permanent characteristic of the map every time you play. All right, so let's now see if it's plausible that we could get this in 6 turns. Because someone else is going to finish it in 6 turns. We've got 6 turns to try to make that thing. We now have easily the 60 space bucks, hammers it takes. Actually, I know we can do this. Wait. Oh, builders, what? Oh, I'm an idiot. All right, I set that up. All right, let's do... okay, it's right under the wire, but we're going to be able to do it. All right, we're going to honor him. That'll finish in 1 turn. That'll get a flax field going. Did I just screw us? I hope not. Let's just, because look, this shred of cloud is just way too annoying. We can't leave that there. And look, we can research a new tech. Do we want Badari culture? Oh, we want this extra authority. Remember, authority is like religion. So we are now, this cow can talk to this bird, and that's cosmogony. Is it cosmogony or cosmogony? It's got to be cosmogony, right? It's not a word I have to say out loud very often. Left Empty is pointing out, actually, this is very astute. These guys previously did a game called Pre-Civilization Marble Age, which I guess is now going to be called Predynastic Marble Age. That game had these fiddly sliders, which were cute. This is a marked difference from having fiddly sliders. There's fiddly card shuffling, but believe me, this is better than sliders. JC Lebedev, I think talking about this, is saying having the same map every game is a big turnoff. I suspect it would get stale after a few games. No, JC Lebedev, it's a score chase. And furthermore, the different prologues that you set up change your starting conditions and therefore the number of points you earn. Because this whole game, oh, look at my flax field. This whole game, my purpose in this whole game is to beat my previous high score. Which, if we look here, we can see that my high score is, let's see, where's that listed? Is there a button here somewhere? Oh! Look, I found my high score. I found my score listing, not my high score. So here's my little, the choices I made for the prologue. Here are the trials. These aren't skipped. Oh, if I ended the game right now, I would have 0 points because none of these trials has taken place. And here's why I want to finish that sanctuary quickly. It'll give me a gold medal with points. Now, what I am not being told here is what my previous high scores were. So, unintuitively enough, if I hit that, it shows me what my current score is. That's hilarious. Look, I accidentally addressed an issue with the game. Oh, look at that annoying shred of clouds. We cannot have that. And yeah, Left Empty points out, and this in response to JC Lebedev's concern that it would get stale after 1 game, that this idea of terraforming, taking this sort of bland, it's just a swath of vaguely green area and scrubland, and you won't see in this stream because it takes place over a longer term, but this turns into a thriving, actually the city areas up here, this turns into like a big city, and furthermore, this lights up, and there's an overmap. There's a strategic scale as well, which we won't unlock until we get to the Heracanopolis Chiefdom Foundation. Is that a tech? I think it's one of these things that we discover, which is a ways down the line. At any rate, at some point, this last thing unlocks, and now we can put our workers on a strategic level thing of the Nile, which has a lot more tribes on it that you have to deal with. And you can unlock trade routes to different places. Like one of the missions you get is, hey, dudes, get a trade route going to Palestine, which is like a super long-term thing you want to do. You go all the way up the Nile and along the Mediterranean, and you eventually find, hey, there's Palestine. I can trade with them. Awesome. Let's see. So, okay, let's then go, because of course, we want these points right here. So let's get points so we can beat our previous high score by queuing this up. It's going to take us 6 turns. Oh, shoot, I did screw us. Am I going to have enough? I'm not going to have enough to worship this stupid bird again. 13, no. Let's see, is there a way to get more authority? Ah, dagnabbit. Oh, so annoying. Can we put multiple people in there? Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. We can now spend, and that was what it was telling us before when it gave us a 5-turn warning. it was saying, dude, this little trial is coming up. These are the resources you need. You might want to stock up on them. These trials, you can accelerate or beat them, accomplish them, and a lot of times it's required, by storing up resources. So we've got plenty of food, plenty of hammers. Let's just pour some hammers in there. Actually, do we want to finish it next turn? Yeah, it's going to... Yeah, you know what? We can spare the hammers. Why is it making them take longer? Does it even say send additional material? Wait, what? I'm not reading this correctly. Well, at any rate, that slows them down. What does this do? Accelerate construction. I'm gonna click this once and see what happens. Attract new workers. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. Good Lord, I see. Pfft. This is us, that's them. All right, so we have to get this under 5. So, yikes. I was assuming accelerate construction by 1. This is gonna work, right? There. Whew. Right? Did I screw up? No, that's right. Okay. Still gonna take 4 turns. All right. We won. So we're gonna get a crappy little bronze medal for that. What are all these? Whatever. Oh, glad we unfogged that. But not glad enough to move someone off of his or her current duty. But we do have an idle worker, so there. Hazy Silhouette compares it, this is an astute observation, Hazy Silhouette, to Wonder Races in Civ. It is kind of like that, but the other Civ is completely abstracted. Let's learn us some Badari culture. We learned it, and then, wasn't that one of our missions here? Oh, here, it's telling us. Star What? History. The tribe of Nabta Playa. The first in Africa to begin observing the sky. Oh, good for them. They built megalithic constructions that look similar to Stonehenge, but they did it 1,000 years earlier. Suck it, Celts. They began to mark the results of observations on the stones according to different seasons of the year. Well, good for them. And I think, oh no, here's the Badari culture thing. To store food longer, we invented pottery. Please, it's one of the first things you do in civilization. The first pottery was baked directly in a fire, so it has a red color and burnt black top, characteristics of the Badari culture. Pictured there. The first settled culture of the Egyptians. And we get free growth there. Look, education. Third stage is... Oh! These are the stages of our Sanctuary of the Falcon. We only need to consecrate it. So let's consecrate a Sanctuary of the Falcon. Ta-dum! Oh, it's almost built. Yeah, we are going to be the first, dudes. We finish it in 1 turn, they finish it in 2. Here we go. You guys ready to see a bronze medal? We're finally going to earn some points. Boom. Score. Watch this. Wonder cutscene. Oh yeah. Sweet. Let's admire this. There's some ducks. Some goats over here. And right in here, that's the eponymous sanctuary. And there is its falcon. Really, it took us that many turns, that many hammers, and that much food to put a little round wall around a hut and put a pole that a bird can land on. I guess maybe this mound of dirt is significant. Remember, we domesticated dogs. There's children playing with dogs. What's with those hairstyles? What's going on out there? So there we go. Wonder cutscene. There's our Badari culture ceramics. Look at that. Red fired clay with the black top. Bronze victory. And it's kind of rubbing our nose in it. It's saying if you'd completed it before turn 37. Oh, it's not how quickly you complete. Well, it's how quickly in the overall scheme of things? Huh. Well, at any rate, we didn't get a silver victory. Oh, look, let's say, remember that awesome cutscene, that Wonder cinematic. Man, I miss it. I wonder if I could see it again. There it is. All right, so there we have built kind of a wonder. What does it do for us? Well, you wouldn't know this. I mean, I guess you would. See that? That's it. That's what we built right there. And frankly, I think that's kind of cool. Like I mean, it's fixed every time, but no, shoot. It's fixed every time, but it's developing the cool map for you. And we can put this guy to work there. And look, it's a new animation. He's worshiping because he's giving us authority as well as hammers. Oh, look at that guy mining. All right, we've got one idle worker. What do we do with you? I really don't like that red thing right there. That's just annoying. Let's go ahead and send him to get rid of some of these clouds. Wait, what? That's annoying. Let's just get that out of there. Do we want to build anything? Our hammer income is good. There are 2 buildings we can build. And see here, look. What are the 2 buildings I can build? Well, it's these 2. Not super clear, but let's get another flax field going. And instead of scouting, it's going to take 10 each turn. It's going to take us 3 turns. If you recall, we were getting a positive 11 hammer balance. We are now down to a positive 1 because it's spending 10 every turn. We now have authority that we could accelerate this, but that would be a waste. I think we will, however. Let's get some growing going. Gathering, farming, and cattle breeding. Is flax production farming? No tooltip there. I don't know the answer to that. We're going to save this. There we go. More flax production. More hammers. With which we can now make a new... Oh! Yeah, let's do a flax production rush. Actually, we need that because we really need more food. Who wants to come out of the fields and what you? Get to work there on that. And furthermore, there we go. It's only going to take 1 turn. So this is the only thing that might be construed as supernatural. And it's not supernatural. It's it's put in the language of, hey, which cult are you focusing on? All right, let's see. Here we go. We're going to need more housing. So look, yeah, that's built. Wait, that's not built, right? Yeah. And to get more housing going, yeah, okay, we'll take you off of there. So for 3 turns, we're going to lose 2 production every turn. A flood. This does not look like a good flood. Looks like that hippopotamus vomited out all these people and that goat and those Badari potteries and that woven basket and these fish. It's just like, bleh. I love these graphics. All right, because of plentiful rains in the south, the Nile has overflown its banks. Oh, bummer. The water level has risen so much that it washed away houses. People died. Many lost everything that they had. And you see them on the evening news in front of the news crews saying, everything we owned was in that house and it's gone. All that meant is we lose 1 person, and look, some areas are damaged. What? What does that mean? Check this out. See that? It's going to take 2 turns of 7 hammers each to fix that. Stupid floods. And we lost someone. We need 30 food, so next turn we can build a new person. And look, we can now have, look, 7-11. We can now have a total of 11 people in our little civilization. All right, you fix that farm, and you build something. What do we want to build? So you'll note this also improves an area by letting it make hammers. Let's go ahead and get that going. And check this out. I may be hitting Horus a little too hard, but I'm quite fond of him. Oh, let's see. We have a Request Wednesday vote. Firefly 2442. I'm just going to put Firefly. Votes for Wargame Red Dragon. There's a great RTS. JC Lebedev voted for Commander the Great War. What? JC Leb, Great War. What is that? Tony T voted for Motorsport Manager. You might think it's a racing game, but it's not. It's a sports management game. And what else did I miss? And yeah, Firefly, I got your war game down. Thank you so much, Chris Markinson, for watching the channel for those for me. Look, nobody's working in our Temple of the Falcon. We can't have that. Was I going to build? I am going to get this going. And who wants to work there? You. Let's... I hate seeing that. Whatever. Look, let's learn something. Pastures. This just lets us build more lucrative farmland. Rectangular houses, which gives us more population room. Or boats, which gives us 10 food and makes fishing more lucrative. Let's just get the 10 food. That's the only thing that's sort of useful to us now. Oh no, I've screwed up with the hammers. Let's see. You go over here and work there. Yikes, this is not going to work. All right. How much is it going to cost to worship Horus again? 21, which is not going to be anytime soon. All right, so I put myself in a nice little dead end. Way to go, Tom. I don't have some fishermen to go. We got plenty of room for population, so we should boom that. So, get out of the flax fields. Let's see, is there anywhere else we can get to food? No. All right, we're doing that. How much is it going to cost for another person? 30. There we go. Richard Holt says, this stream is making him want to play a turn-based strategy game, but which one? Why not this one? JC Lebedev says, Commander Great War, it's a World War I game, sort of like Panzer Corps, but not terrible. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to pause this stream for 1 second to see a man about a horse, and I shall return shortly. While I'm up, I'm going to get everyone an espresso. I'll be right back. And we're back. I have espressos for everyone. There's one for you and yours. Here's your espresso. All right, let's see. Where were we? We're hitting next turn. Oh, we repaired our grain field. That'll help that. Oh, that'll also help our hammer income. That's why we had an issue before. Which makes me think now we can go ahead and build this, which we will do with, you know what, I need more people. In 2 turns, we're going to be able to build a new person. What is that? Oh, right, each person eats a grain. That makes sense. What is that event? Ah, right. There was a point we had a surplus and we could have honored the god. Did we honor the gods? At any rate, we took an extra Ankh production to take a 3% hit in food. All right, that's okay. I got an achievement, just so you guys know. Yeah, these must be new. They must have, with the renaming of the game, added achievements. So look at this. This is what I'm not clear about. It's a 30% chance that we're going to have a growing with each turn. When does this kick in? Because it's not every turn. We haven't been attacked. I'm unclear what to make of this number. All right, next turn we can make a new person, which we will now do, and we will put that person to work making a more lucrative grain field while everyone else toils away. And he's worshiping, getting us some authority with which to honor a cult, or maybe just our forefathers. And what you're seeing now is, to be fair, a decent portion of the game is set up an economy, get it running, then hit some threshold where you get to make a decision. Let's see, what can we build now? See, here, tell me from looking at that what I can build. That, a new flax field. Not very clear. You get over here and work on that flax field, mister. And we could honor someone and accelerate the flax field, which, let's go for growth, actually, because we have plenty of room for people. So let's do this. Gathering, farming, and cattle breeding is +1 food for 3 turns. So our food right now is at +5. You can see faded out up there. Now it's +9. I wonder if we should put everyone to work in a foodie place to focus on that. There we go. So for 3 turns, and this is a facet of the game as well, is, you know, rejiggering your production for various reasons. We don't need hammers. Let's just do that. There we go. So 3 turns of +15 food. That'll get us a couple workers. We can make a new worker and then put that worker to work, because we see here the blessing of the heavenly cow is in effect because we are heavenly cow nuts. See, according to the tooltip. Where are you going to get us the most food there? And we've got 2 more turns of just worshiping the heavenly cow. Sweet! The heavenly cow and the greening of the Sahara. We'd seen that before. I'm tempted to just keep everyone working in the farms for 3 turns. And just booming like crazy up here. You know what? I am going to do that. I know, cat. Hold on. Cat management issues. Alright, go outside. See you later. Alright, cat has vacated the premises. Alright, we're just going to food boom. Let's see. This person was going to work. Where was... Here. This crazy food boom. 3 more turns of just crazy food booming. We're going to get our population up. Look, we've just learned something. We have learned either... Oh, this is just something we can build. Is this anything worth waiting for? Building prices. It's going to cost 170 onks, though. Yeah, we're going to want one of these first. Let's go ahead and... I don't know, pastures, yeah. I like that artwork better. Look how boring that is. Yeah. Here we are, food booming in Predynastic Egypt. All right, good lord. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put you to work in some terrible... Yeah, I'm not going to make him make 1 food. There, go to work in the mines. Or should you scout? Let's get some scouting underway. You have a look there. While everyone else food booms for a final turn. All right, the greening of the Sahara has passed. I think this is one of the trials. At the beginning of the drought in the Sahara, around 4000 BC, the Sahara basically started to suck. And people who lived there were like, screw this, we're out of here. And they came to visit us. All right, so here's a little trial we have. We have social tension. That's right. It's like a new resource. We have 75 points of it. And we're going to get 5 more points every turn. See, probability to run is 20 every turn? I don't understand these probabilities. So, anarchy in 10 turns. What do? With these refugees, we can assimilate them, which is going to cost we have to dump a bunch of food in there to feed them. And it drops this 75 down 5%. We can reform, which is going to spend our authority, our religion points. Drops unrest 20 points. That's good. Man, assimilating sucks. The cost decreases with time. Does this cost decrease with time? It does not. Or we can just kick them out and say, screw you guys, you're out of here. By burning 15 points off of this, by kicking somebody out and saying, hey, leave. So, let's see. I think we're just going to build up authority. Oh, shoot. All right, let's not kick anybody out yet. We can burn our villagers at the last minute if we need to. Do that, and do you want to start building that for food? Shoot a monkey. No worshipping. All right. Is that a quest? The Exodus from the Sahara. Yeah, so we're going to get a point. Look, we have 1 point out of 33. So if 33 is your maximum points, what's the best I've ever done? Let's check my high score. Except we can't. Bupkis. Found nothing up there. You go there, because we now need a little of everything. You go there. This I'm not super fond of. This I'm definitely not fond of. Get out of there. You explore here, because I know there's stuff up there. And then you explore there. Oh, why did we find... Oh, scouting, we found a worker. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and reform this 20%. But see, it goes up 5% every turn. That's annoying. Should we kick people out? Let's see, if we kick 5 people out. No, 6 people. Yikes. I'm not willing to do that. Should we? Just burn our population by 6 and basically reboot and get a lot of points? Because here's the deal, and here's the issue with this game. This is going to add to my score. And all of these starting hey, wait a minute. It's not figuring in my 4 points from these yet. So technically I have 5. I guess I have to see it through to the end. How I solve this Exodus from the Sahara, what I get out of this, I mean, you do get, I think, some resources. But mainly what I get out of it is points based on how quickly I solve it. I wish there was a tooltip here telling me specifically what the deadline was. So what I'm faced with now is, hey, just keep playing, forget about score, growing my city, or, you know, burn my population down from 14 to 8 by doing this 6 times and get a lot of points. And if I'm expected to do that, if I'm expected to care enough about my score to take this significant of a setback, remember my freaking score somewhere. Jerks. Just for that. I'm so mad. I'm just going to kick people out. There. Oh, ah! Oh, I guess you can't overspend. Alright, well, we'll wait a turn. See? Huh. Am I happy with who left and who stayed? Let's see. Forget hammers, because we need growth to refill our population. You're not picking those stupid berries. Get out of there. We always want authority, because authority lets us get these one-time boosts, these occasional boosts. Alright. I'm fine burning through all of our hammers. What? The desertification? Is that a word? I guess it is. Of the Sahara. And this is permanent. So... Wait a minute, stuff got damaged? It didn't tell me that was going to happen. Is it from the desertification of the Sahara? Migrants are satisfied. Oh no, we had a riot. Wait a minute. We look. Oh, I guess until we get rid of everything that. Shoot. So that's why this is so low, is they've got to spend that time fixing those instead of farming. Dadgummit. All right. Oh, see, look. Surplus of refugees. See? Karma. We got 2 of the 6 people back that we cruelly killed. Dadgummit, come on. All right, next turn I can kill 1 other person. And I just simply didn't have enough food stored up or authority. Tension is too high. We can't... What? So I'm waiting on this? 20 food. All right. That's difficult because these things got damaged. How annoying is that? We've got 3 people to put to work. Oh, shoot. All right. Flax. They're not making any food. We'll fix that stuff later. Oh, look how slow this is going. Alright, fine. Well, by killing all those people, I thought we were going to get a leg up, but it looks like that's not really going to happen. So we'll repair these for 1 turn. Forget that stupid thing. And you guys keep making flax. Alright, here we go. What's the last building we can make? Oh, this is the grain thing. I'm just going to set that up just to remind me. Alright. Another riot. Disorders. So the damage repair got set back. Yeah, it's just slowing us down, stupid disorderly people. We kicked out so many people and things are still slowed down. Do I want to start repairing that, or that's going to make this not last? Yeah, that's not going to take. Alright, come down here. See what happens when you let people immigrate into your... Oh, shoot, I could have built someone. Oh, well. Oh, good. A bonus for Happy's Gifts. Happy. That's a cute name for a god. Hey, ha. Alright, so you guys do some fishing while they finish fixing up stuff. Can we deal with this yet? No, we can't fix that yet. One time, 2 people. See how sweet? Awesome. Look at that. We're back up to where we were. And can we now address the situation and get our silver medal? No. Why? Oh, I shouldn't have made someone. I'm an idiot. I should not have made him. Alright, fine. If we lose the trial, I think we lose the game. Maybe. I think there is a fail state. I mistakenly said earlier there's no fail state. I take that back. And we have now learned these rectangular houses. I mean, how difficult is it to realize put walls at a right angle? Why would you do that? Let's see. They're stronger, they're more spacious, and more comfortable than their earlier analogs, which apparently means roundhouses. All right. I mean, I know if you're playing a city builder with a grid, rectangular houses would make more sense. Again! Oh, a sandstorm. It wasn't the disorders. Oh, Seth, you jerk. So the main antagonist in this game becomes Seth. There's an evil Seth culture that you find on the overmap when you expand out into the Nile. And they're way too powerful to kill early on. One of the decisions you make is, do I want to go for a military civilization and kill Seth? Or do I just want to let them be and sort of economically boom? This is just alright. There we go. No, because it grew with... Oh, this game is so stupid. Oh, right, this gets cheaper each turn. Dadgummit, I'm not going to be able... Well, we'll find out if it's a fail state. Oh, more people. Man, I like this immigrant of... this influx of immigrants. Although, please stop now. We've maxed out. I wish we could just kick more people. Oh, look, we can. Ah, come on, that last 10 stupid points. All right, so if we get 10 food next turn, this will be 15. We can shut it down, and we will avert anarchy. So 10 food, that can't physically happen. I mean, short of killing people. So 15 consumption. So each person we kill will swing that 2 points, right? Or am I doing that wrong? No, we'll swing that 1 point. Shoot. It's a combination of the disorder and the sandstorms and me not stocking up for that trial, which, did it warn me? I don't know. At least we have Happy's Gifts. We're getting fish. You can, I think this is going to, well, it's as good a place as any to die. We've been at this for 2 hours. The game doesn't normally take 2 hours, by the way. This is what happens when I stop and explain stuff as we go. All right, we're going to find out what happens when anarchy visits Predynastic. Yeah, we can't have that. Yeah, look, we can't even fix our stuff. That's too expensive to fix. And that's too expensive to fix. And everything's too expensive to fix. Look. Although I guess if we put people at work on hammers, let's see, we have a surplus of... Oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is the worst I've ever done at this game. And you would know if I could show you my high scores. Alright, we're just going to explore while anarchy kicks in. Here we go. Watch this. The refugee situation has exploded. We've lost control over it. Our security was swept away by the raging migrants. Different refugee groups are dictating the rules, and the anarchy has begun. Look at there. It's Donald Trump's nightmare. Hints. Anarchy reigns in the settlement. Various groups of refugees and locals try to establish rules, only increasingly... Look at this. That right there. That's the Donald Trump nightmare. I'm going to take a screenshot. So we've got this levied against us for 3 turns. So it's not a fail state. It's just basically a, if you'll pardon my French, a fuck you state. To pass it successfully, you need to reduce the engine. Yeah, duh. I've sort of figured that out. Don't rush with assimilation. Cost decreases over time. Reform as quickly as possible. Right, for the points. But don't let the probability of unrest... Don't let the probability of unrest to rise. Don't let... Yeah, that's... You don't need that word, too. Don't let the probability of unrest rise above 10 to 20%. All right, so let's check our score now. Fail. 0. So all of that effort, like spending all those people rather than just moving ahead and trying to address that trial, what that cost me is 1 point of score. Well, if I'd gotten a bronze. I think silver is 2 points and gold is 3 points. Does that make sense? Let's see, you would get 12, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21. Yeah, so you would get points from 3 points from each of these, 3 points from each of these, and you would max out at 33. So I could have just said screw that. Oh, although if I had said screw the trial, I would still be getting hit with, where is that negative thing? Where is it telling me? I guess up here? Well, at any rate, I got hit with a negative thing. But if I'd ignored the trial and just gone on developing, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal to suffer whatever negative penalty I'm getting now, rather than all the people I burned, all the production I lost to disorder. Although I guess that would have happened. Yeah, at any rate, the bottom line is I really wish that they had done the score better. Why is Hazy Silhouette face palming at the pictograph? That was a beautiful image of what would happen if we didn't elect Donald Trump. So there you go. This has been, I was kind of hoping to show you this, but it's a ways down the line. Hyrcanopolis, that name. Like I said, let's just call it Chickville. I think it's something I discover down here. Let's just check. Hyrcanopolis. It's a ways down here, if that's what it is. Because that's what folds the over map into the gameplay. Yeah, I think it's something else. It's an event. Oh, you know what I think it is? Yeah, this right here. So it's at a scripted point, this challenge comes up, and then when it's done, you unlock the overmap, which gives you more options to place your workers. It feels a little different than this here in that you're not terraforming it. There's more of an emphasis on exploration, on finding and dealing with these different tribes. And that's how the gameplay changes there. And as you can see, we're basically a third of the way through the 220 turns it takes to finish a game. And you can fail on every single one of these, and it looks like the game never hits a fail state. It never shuts you down. It's all about how many points you got at the end, which then gets listed on your high score screen. Oh, it doesn't exist. So there you go. This has been not pre-civilization Egypt, Predynastic Egypt. The developers called, oh shoot, what are they? Claris Victoria, some Russians. This is their follow-up to Pre-Civilization or Predynastic Marble Age. Available on Steam, turn-based game, and I quite like it. I certainly understand the reservations about the fixed map, but it's not about exploration. It's just about shoveling resources around and deciding where to put them. And as a strategy gamer, I kind of enjoy that sort of thing, and this is a streamlined instance of it. Just, hey, shovel your resources around, respond to random events, brace yourself for these trials, and get as many points as you can, although the points will never matter in the end because we're not going to write them down anywhere. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Join us on Monday when I'll be streaming a game. And then at 7 p.m. we'll do the drawing for Request Wednesday to see what we're playing on Wednesday. Happy holiday weekend to all of you. Please follow me on Twitter at QT3. You can find stuff I write at quarterto3.com, and check out my Patreon campaign at patreon.com/TomChick. And in the meantime, enjoy, if you decide to pick it up, your Predynastic Egypt, which should be available on Steam any day now. Thanks so much, you guys.